Imagine a killer so covert that it could inflict untold damage without you even realising what it was doing. A killer who would leave no gaping, blood-filled wounds, no bone-crunching pain and no blood-curdling screams in its wake, but whose mark would have far-reaching consequences. Consequences that could see you becoming completely unrecognisable from the person you are today. No, this isn't the opening scene of the latest Stephen King thriller. This is High Blood Pressure, and in this series, I am going to show you how you can defend against one of the world's biggest killers. Hi, I'm Leah D'Souza Thomas, founder of the Thrive Practice, where I help people pull themselves back from the brink of a health crisis using health and behaviour change science. And for the next few minutes, let's talk blood pressure. Blood pressure is a measure of the amount of strain your blood vessels are under at any given time. It's never constant, but in order for you to remain the wonderful human you are, it needs to be at a relatively even level. Too low and you're likely to feel dizzy and may even pass out. Too high and you're at risk of serious damage to your blood vessels. Let's get into the science. For your body cells to get all of the goodies carried in the 4.5 litres of blood that repeatedly travels around your body, it needs a little push. With each push or pump from your heart, your blood will exert a force against the muscular walls of your blood vessels. This is known as blood pressure. The highest pressure happens when the ventricles at the bottom of your heart contract, pushing blood out of the heart and into the arteries. This is known as systole. This is peak pressure. When the ventricles relax to receive the next batch of blood, blood pressure is at its lowest level, and this is known as diastole. When blood pressure is measured, you'll get two numbers. The first is a systolic blood pressure reading, which is typically, in a healthy human, ranges between 90 and 120 milligrams of mercury. The second reading refers to the diastolic blood pressure reading and is typically between 60 and 80 milligrams of mercury. When we combine the two numbers, we expect the normal reading to be around 120 over 80 milligrams of mercury. Your blood pressure varies throughout the day, but if it regularly rises above and stays at about 140 over 90, what we call hypertension or high blood pressure, it can cause serious damage, putting you at risk of a heart attack or even a stroke. This is why it's important to know your numbers, and there's never been a better time to get intimately acquainted with your numbers, as this is Know Your Numbers Week. And there are lots of events and places where you can get your blood pressure measured across the country. But even if you can't make it to one of those events, or your GP or even your pharmacy, it is possible to measure your blood pressure at home. Here's what you'll need. A blood pressure measuring device, which run at around £25, a table, a chair, and you. A couple of points before we get started. Try not to drink anything caffeinated or smoke 30 minutes before you take your blood pressure, as this may affect your reading. Ideally, you want to take two readings, about a minute apart, one in the evening and one in the morning, for a week. Step 1. Place the device on the table and ensure that you're sitting comfortably with both feet flat on the floor, your back and arms supported, and keep your arm level with your heart. Step 2. Put the blood pressure cuff on your arm and fasten the Velcro tab. Step 3. Then rest quietly for about 5 minutes. Step 4. Push the start button and wait for your reading to appear. Take note of your systolic and your diastolic reading. Step 5. Wait 1 minute and then repeat step 4. And that's it. You're all done. Now remember, I said that blood pressure is never constant. And because of that, we'll need to work out your average blood pressure reading. Don't freak out, it's only a tiny bit of maths. To work out your average blood pressure, you'll need to add up all of the systolic readings, ignoring day 1, and then divide by the number of readings that you have. So let's say these are your systolic readings. You'll add them up and divide by 5 because there are 5 sets of readings. The result is your average systolic pressure. Then you'll do the same for your diastolic numbers to get your average diastolic pressure. Then you put the two numbers together and voila, you have your average blood pressure reading. A word of caution: if your average blood pressure is at or above 135/85 when you measure at home, and you don't have a health condition that affects your blood vessels like diabetes or kidney disease, you should probably make an appointment to see your doctor. It is also possible to have a higher reading when you attend your doctor's office, and this is known as white coat hypertension, and is most likely due to nerves. This is why you'll get a more accurate reading if you take your blood pressure at home, chart your results, and share them with your doctor. You can even bring your monitor in to have your doctor check your device and your technique. Okay, so that's it for day one. Today you learned what blood pressure is and how to take your own blood pressure reading in the comfort of your own home, so you know your numbers. In the next video, we're going to talk about what to do once you know your numbers. See you then.